Owen Mukando to come and give us a devotion. What do you say? Amen. Amen.
Good afternoon, everybody. If for no other reason, please join and sing with us. Join and sing with us. I can tell you something. If you have never sung in a choir or in a group, then maybe you don't know what you're missing. There is a camaraderie. There's a bond that you get when you blend your... I think people who play sports understand it. When you get different skills and different talents and mold them together into a coherent whole. There's a feeling that you don't get when you are a star alone. So please, join Amo. Join Amo. As we figure out where to apply your gifts, we can be singing together. Amen? Amen. Amen. My sharing today, this afternoon, is titled, He's Calling Again. He is calling again. And I'm taking it from the book of Mark, chapter 2, verse 13 and 14. And it reads, Then he went out again by the sea, and all the multitude came to him, and he taught them. As he passed by, he saw Levi, the son of Alphaeus, sitting at the tax office, and he said to him, Follow me. So he arose and followed him. He is calling again. The first part of our verse, our two verses that we're looking at, says, Then he went out again by the sea. If you read the earlier passages in chapter 1 and then earlier in that book, you will know that this is the Sea of Galilee that is being referred to. And we know, you could almost say the importance of that area to Jesus' ministry. And we know the people that he called from that area. Because at the time that he is calling Mathew, he has already called some of his disciples. And some of them literally calling out of the sea, fishermen coming in their boats, and he calls them and says, Follow me. But then interesting, it says, Then he went out again by the sea. So we know for a fact this is not the first time that Jesus was going through this place. Secondly, we also know that this was not the first time that Mathew was there. How do we know this? Mathew was a tax collector. Not just any tax collector, a tax collector with a very specific remit. Fishermen, ships coming in, trading, and what? Anyone on the sea must pass through Mathew. So definitely, Mathew had seen Jesus, and he had seen who's this man who's calling people. Jesus had definitely seen Mathew. Why did Jesus pass again? Why did Jesus pass again? And this time he speaks to Mathew. It's not like he's just seen him. This is someone who we know was there almost every time. I'm sure every time Jesus passed. You can't pass any border and find that Zedare is sleeping. Is it possible? It's not possible. 2 a.m. you find them there. 5 a.m. you find them there. And yet we are told, then he passed again by that way. I'm sure if I read the right Bible commentaries, we might get some deeper insight. But I just like to think, could be, that Jesus knew Mathew needed a little more time. Yeah, he's a tax collector. I'm sure he's a calculating man. Things must make sense at some level. You know, he doesn't move Nachimwera. This is an educated man who's trying to figure out what's going on. And Jesus, I am sure from the very beginning, knows that he is going to call Mathew. But in all his wisdom, he knows that now this one, these ones, Peter, impulsive. I can use that impulse for my kingdom. Peter, I can meet today and say, you, come. Peter will jump. Mathew, I know he's very calculated. I know he's thinking things through. If I approach him now, it might be too early and he might say no. I'll pass by. I'll let him see my work. I'll let him see my ministry. I'll pass by again. Mathew is thinking, Mathew is looking, Mathew is attracted. The steps that we were talking about before. The steps that we were talking about in the sermon. Jesus is building up a case to Mathew. By the time Jesus comes and says, follow me. This man with a prestigious office I don't even see anywhere where he talks about handovers, so I don't know what he did with the money he had already collected. But this man with a prestigious office stands up and follows him. And for me, this is a lovely lesson for each one of us here. It might be that maybe you have seen God call someone else before you. You have seen someone else prospering before you. You might be thinking, it's not for me. It's always for you. And God, in his infinite wisdom, has his own way how he's going to reach each one of us. And because he loves each one of us so much, he will pass by your way again. He will pass by your way again. Where God is concerned, you have never missed your chance. You have never missed your chance. And so, my dear brothers, today I am speaking specifically to the brothers. My dear brothers, he's passing by again. He's passing by your way. He's been passing by. He has called others. And maybe you thought your chance had passed. But he's passing by your way again. And he's saying to you, follow me. Are you still waiting for him to pass by again? Or are you going to take this chance now and, like Mathew, stand up immediately and follow him? I'd like to speak to all the AMO members and all the men in this church to accept this ultimate gesture of love, of humility, of the privilege of the Son of God giving you every opportunity to make up your mind, every opportunity to answer the call. And he's calling you now. AMO is calling you now. Will you join? Will you follow? I leave you with those questions. Amen.